Welcome to World Car TV. I am Siddharth Vinayak Partnkar in India. We have kicked off the Road to World Car 2022 already by embarking on this special annual journey where we'll meet all the nominees that are in the fray for our various categories, including the brand new Electric Vehicle of the Year. And so over the next several weeks, we will profile a lot of these nominees for you across all categories, but I thought it was apt to begin with an electric vehicle. This is one from BMW, a company that actually almost a decade ago brought its first dedicated electric vehicle to the market. Maybe a little bit ahead of the curve with the i3 then, but it's a car that really scored high for us at the World Car Awards. Today we talk about the iX. It takes the electric game for BMW into the hotly contested SUV space. Yes, we're talking cars like the EQC and Jaguar I-Pace, and of course the Audi e-tron. So has BMW done enough? Tomas Geiger in Germany spent a lot of time with the car to bring you his thoughts and this review.
Size-wise, the iX is a blend of the most successful BMW X models. With a length of almost 5 meters, it's got the same length than an X5, but it is lower than an X6 due to the drag coefficient. And it's got more room than the X7. That is the advantage of the dedicated EV platform. Since all the batteries are in the floor, the engines are much smaller and the overhang is much shorter, the wheelbase much bigger, there's lots of legroom for the rear seat passengers. Another advantage of the dedicated EV platform is the lack of a center tunnel. Since there's no mechanical connection between the front and the rear axle, there is no need of a crankshaft or a cardan wave, and you can easily swap from the left to the right and you can move freely in the car. There is no other BMW X model as comfortable as the iX, at least for the rear seat passengers. Initially, the iX will be offered with two powertrains. The iX i40 has 240 kilowatts, the iX i50 has 385 kilowatts, and always all-wheel drive. There is an M model as an iX M60 on the horizon that will deliver proper 440 kilowatts. Talking about the range, we have two battery sizes for the moment. The i40 starts with a 77 kilowatt-hour battery. The i50 comes with an immense 111 kilowatt-hours battery. That translates into a range that takes away any anxiety. While the i3 was more an urban car, the iX will be a proper Autobahn cruiser. The i40 of the iX already goes to 425 kilometers in the WLTP range. The iX i50 has 630 kilometers of WLTP range. That means Hamburg, Frankfurt, Frankfurt, Munich, Stuttgart, Cologne, all to be driven easily on one charge. And if you have to charge, that goes pretty fast as well. Talking about speed, there is something BMW drivers have to change their mindset. While BMW drivers were known to go full speed with 250 kilometers on the left lane of the Autobahn until now, they have to change and they have to slow down, because even the most powerful model has a limit of 200 kilometers per hour. Same as the i3 10 years ago, the iX also gives us a fresh look into the BMW interior. Yes, the car is still driver focused because fun to drive, sheer driving pleasure is still a key message even in the electric age of BMW. But the look and feel is totally different. We have an octagonal steering wheel. It's not round, it has 8 corners and it's taken a bit of time to get used to it. But most of all, we have this new curved display. Not as big and not as fancy, for example, as in a Mercedes EQS, but very cool, very tech and very fresh. And the Usage is totally easy. It's the 8th generation of the BMW UI system. It's well learned and it's totally easy to operate. You can do it with speech, you can do it by touching the screen, and you can still use some buttons, even if they're just half of the amount of buttons than, for example, in an X5. And you still have the iDrive controller. It's a bit smaller than before, it's looking a bit more refined, but it's still there because it's an icon of the BMW operating system. The iX might be the most advanced BMW yet, with the first 5G implementation, with the latest generation of electric motors and batteries and all that stuff. But it's also the car that hides its technique the most. Shy-tech is the name the marketing guys invented for that. And it culminates in a hood that can't be opened anymore. So if you want to look underneath the hood, you have to go to the workshop and ask the mechanics to open it. But since there are some necessities that leads you to fill up, for example, the washer fluid, they've had a smart idea and placed the nozzle underneath the BMW logo. Thanks for joining me on that first test drive with the BMW iX. A car the Generation E has been waiting for pretty long. Because after BMW has gone way ahead with the i3, they fell back pretty hard. Now they're back in business with a car that combines the strengths of all BMW models. It has the size and the versatility of an iX. It has the room and comfort of a X7. It has the driving dynamics of a 5 Series and the luxury ride of a 7 Series. All that comes with a price. Base price in Germany is a little bit above 77,000 euros. But if you fit it like it should be, with all the luxury and the bigger battery and the higher power output, you're reaching 6-digit numbers easily. Also in that respect, it is a typical BMW.
The BMW iX, the start of a whole lot of EVs coming from the Bavarian car maker. We have plenty of EVs in the fray like we did last year too, so it's going to be pretty hot in that space. Please follow us on all our social media platforms for the latest updates on things that are happening with not just the nominees but our jurors around the world as well. Thank you, Thomas, for giving us the iX. Plenty more right here on World Car TV for you in the coming days as well. Please stay safe.